What's going on, guys? This is Kyle Carroll from Carroll's Corner MMA with MyMMAnews.com. I'm here with Adam Barrett. Adam, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Adam, you're defending your title at the bantamweight for Cage Wars 36. Tell us a little bit about your title defense.
This is going to be the first title defense since I got the belt, and I'm going against a really skilled opponent, Z Lau. I think it's going to be a great matchup stylistically. He's got a Sanshao or a Sanda background, which is really strong in kicks. It's a little bit similar to my style, Taekwondo, with more punching in it, as well as some takedowns and some close range work. So I think it's going to be a really dynamic fight. It's a really great matchup. When it was announced, my first initial reaction was excitement, followed by what am I getting myself into? It's definitely going to be a tough fight. So I think the fans have something really to look forward to.
And you're coming off two impressive victories. One you snagged a pretty good armbar, and then last time, I think two armbars, right?
No, the last one was a decision.
Oh, decision. Okay, but either way, they're both pretty good wins. How is it to get in there and just get those wins and those victories and just continue moving forward?
A win is there's no feeling like it. It's one of the best feelings in the world when you put in all the work and you push yourself, and it's obviously it's a challenge going in there and doing it and putting yourself through that. But when you come out successful, there's no better feeling. Fortunately, I've been happy to do the last two wins in a row, and hopefully I'm going to make it a third.
Awesome. And what are some of the biggest challenges that you see that your opponent is going to present to you?
It could go anywhere. He's a great striker. I think the way that he strikes is going to bring the better out of me of my striking. You've only really seen jiu-jitsu from my previous fights, but I've done Taekwondo since 1988. That's really my background. But I think it's going to be either a striking match or usually I get into the kind of the fight or flight mode where it's I treat every fight as a self-defense situation, and ultimately I think of course to the ground and the jiu-jitsu is going to play a part into that.
And tell us a little bit about your background. You mentioned you've been doing it for quite some time. What gym are you training at? How'd you get into Taekwondo?
I got a long time ago. I saw Enter the Dragon when I was a little kid. I still watch that movie religiously to this day, and ever since I saw that movie, I had begged my mother, take me to class, take me to a school. And there was really no schools in my area in upstate New York at the time. And as soon as the first school opened, I was the first student to sign up. I was probably 9 years old, and it was 1988. And that's when I got into Taekwondo from there. And my mom ended up working at the school. She was a single parent, so lessons are expensive. So she ended up working at the gym, and I was there every evening, 5 days a week. So I would take the classes, and I ended up teaching, and it just spawned from there. And now I have my own Taekwondo school, and I do that at night. And I also train with Brian Barrett at Brian Barrett Jiu-Jitsu.
Awesome. And tell us, I guess, a little bit about what are your goals for within MMA after this title fight or title defense, excuse me. What do you want to do from there on? Do you want to fight a couple more times in 2018? Are you looking to turn pro eventually?
Yes, I would like to do pro. It depends how this fight goes. I do see myself doing a couple more amateur fights, whether I win or lose. Obviously, I have a good feeling about this fight. I do think I'm going to come out with the win. But I do think I'm a couple more fights, and I should be ready for the pro.
Excellent. And now the fights are taking place at Schenectady Casino. What about that's going to change for you at all? Is there going to be a little added pressure? Do you have more ticket sales now that you're the champion?
A little of that. Mostly now is just excitement. It's great to fight for Cage Wars. It's such a great organization. I think it's probably one of the leading regional outfits in the whole country. I mean, everything is great to fight there, and it's really exciting to fight for a sold out crowd. I'm sure the pressure is going to be a little more as it gets closer. But for now, I'm just focused on finishing this week up at training camp, and we'll get to it when the time comes.
It's a sold out crowd. I know that they just announced it the other day. All the tickets are gone. You just mentioned you're finishing up your training camp. What do you do for the last 2 weeks leading up to your fight?
This week is the toughest. We've been leading up to doing a lot of rounds, sparring rounds. Yesterday was a tough training. I trained twice a day usually, with running and some weight training and teaching. Pretty much 2, 3, 4 classes a night. So this week is probably our toughest week, and then next week is going to be more of a healing and keep moving, stay limber, work on the rest of my weight cut. So more of a relaxing week next week, which I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. And how is the weight cut for you? Is that something you have difficulty with?
Not at all. I usually walk around at about 150, 145. Usually the week before, I like to get down to around 140, 141. And then I usually just cut with 4 or 5 pounds in the sauna. So I usually last time I had no issue at all.
Awesome. Now, do you keep a pretty strict diet for that, or is it just kind of, you just have it down pat?
I do. Normally I eat clean. Once in a while I'll have pizza, and I like some sweets and some little Debbie cake snacks and things like that. But it's not something that I eat all the time. So usually I'm eating no red meat, but a lot of clean, nothing processed. So when the time comes to diet, it's usually very easy to cut the weight.
Awesome. Now that you're the champion, is there added confidence into the cage?
Yes and no. It was great to get that win, but this fight gives me even more fuel, because the last fight kind of was reminiscent of the last fight that I won, the featherweight title back in 2014. It was a decision fight. You probably saw a little bit of the disappointment in myself the last time. Although I did win, and I went back through the tape and I calculated everything, the punches, the kicks, the submission attempts, and I did win that fight by the numbers. So with this fight, it's going to give me a little more added fuel, because I don't want to lose the belt like I did last time. I won the belt in 2014 at the featherweight, and then my next fight I lost it. So this one, you're going to probably have to pry the belt from my hands to get it.
You're mentioning the fight against Doolin. I know a lot of people felt, especially being the crowd, he had a pretty heavy crowd with him. They all felt that he won, obviously. But looking at, I thought watching the fight, I thought you did win. You had more control, even though you were on bottom, more submission attempts and more strikes throughout the fight. So I definitely believe you won that fight as well. Going into a decision like that, does that make it go through your mind, like, next time I fight, I want to make sure I get the finish, so I don't have to go to the judges' scorecard and wait to hear what they have to say?
Absolutely, and if you let it go in the judge's decision, everybody complains and moans, but if you let it go in the judge's decision, ultimately it's your fault. So it's something that I'm not looking to try to happen in this time, and I see that Z does have quite a few matches that went the distance and went to a decision. So that's something I've looked at as well, and if that happens and we're both zeroing each other out and we can't finish each other, I'm going to have to stay really busy, a lot more busier than I did in the last fight.
Definitely. I know I'm looking forward to this fight, as well as all the fans going to be in attendance. What motivates you consistently and inspires you to get inside the cage and fight?
Well, several things. Number one is probably the discipline that it takes into the training. When you have this kind of discipline, it helps you in other areas of your life. Another thing is ultimately I'd like to become a coach. And obviously I have a martial arts school, and one of the things that I advertise is self-discipline. So how can you teach self-discipline if you have, or not self-discipline, self-defense, I'm sorry. We see all these martial arts schools that will sell self-defense, but how can you actually teach self-defense if you've never been in that situation? So as a coach, I think getting into the cage is one of the realest situations you can be in. So I think that's going to enhance my coaching abilities down the road as well. So those things, and obviously I have goals of becoming pro.
Definitely. And you mentioning about becoming a coach, that's something you want to do down the road. You own your own gym. How has teaching and helping other students helped your game improve?
The main reason it holds you accountable. You're out there teaching and preaching things to students, and when you find yourself slipping from what you're teaching, you're always constantly reminded you're teaching this, so you need to practice what you're preaching. So it's a good thing for my life to teach because it helps you stay on that good path.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, tell us what you do in your free time when you're not training or working, whatever it may be you're doing. What are you doing in your free time?
Lately, watching a lot of Game of Thrones, so I'm all caught up on that. So in the summertime and when it's nice out, I'm usually outside and take my dog for walks. I do a lot of kayaking, a lot of listening to music. Other than that, I just train in martial arts.
Awesome, awesome. And uh, tell us, like, within the fight, what can we expect from you and your opponent?
Um, well, like I said, it can really go anywhere, and I think stylistically, this is probably one of the better fights that can happen in this organization. It could be a lot of dynamic kicking. He's got spin kicks. I have spin kicks. We have a lot of good setups. He has good angles, and his jujitsu is fairly decent as well. So I think it's going to be a really good technical fight, and I'm excited for it, as well as scared as you should be.
Awesome. And how's the support system for you? Do you receive sponsorships from anyone, or I'm assuming you have a lot of family and friends that support you as well getting into the cage?
Yeah. Well, I don't have any sponsorships now. We've talked about it, but for now, I'm self-funded. I have my school and pretty good career that I've been working on. So, in terms of the future, I probably would try to seek some sponsors and things. So,
Awesome, awesome. What is one thing about you that we don't know or fans don't know, but you would like to share with everyone?
oh, tons of things. Geez, that'd be a tough one to answer. I don't know if you got another half hour. So,
I got all the time in the world. Feel free.
um, it's. I guess I'm just like anybody else. I mean, I guess I have this kind of martial arts demeanor, which I try to hold, but it's a tough question. It's a hard question. I don't know if I could answer that one.
All right, cool. How can people find you on social media if they want to follow you and follow your
I'm
career?
on Facebook and Instagram. I'm a kind of an older guy, so I'm not really a technology person. So I don't really even know what my Instagram is, Adam Barrett or something. I guess you could Google me and find my Facebook. That's certainly something. If I go pro, I'll have to work on that kind of marketing stuff and things like that. But at this point, I'm on just Facebook, and I'm not really even sure how to use Instagram. So.
Awesome. All right. Before I let you go, anyone you want to recognize or shout out?
Just my coaches and my teammates at Brian Beery Jiu Jitsu. Without them, obviously, I wouldn't have any of the skill level I would have, and they had certainly give a lot of support. Um, my teammates are pushing me; they're there training with me, getting me ready for the fight. Um, and then, obviously, probably my girlfriend. She's kind of the backbone, as any good woman is for a man. She's listening to me train, complain, and she sees the up and downs of everything. So, those are the two that are most influential in my life at my point. And certainly give a shout out to my mother. So I'm sure she'll watch this interview and be proud of looking at this. And she was at my last Cage Wars fight, which was really nice to see. So I was fortunate to have her there.
Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you get in the cage and defend your title. Adam Barrett's fighting Cage Wars 36, defending his bantamweight title up in Albany at the casino up there, the new casino.
Yeah.
Sold out, so you can't get tickets, ladies and gentlemen. So, but you can download the app Fight TV and watch it for free on there. So if you can't get tickets, you can't show up. Go to the Fight TV on your phone, download it, and you can watch it for free on there, as it will be commentated and live broadcast. So, Adam, I appreciate you joining me, and thank you very much.
All right. Have a good afternoon.
Best of luck.
All right, thank you. We'll see you then.